Welcome back to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. I am your host, Sherry Ricard. I'm bringing you weekly interviews with fascinating guests, with action-packed episodes, highly relatable stories that help women reboot, regroup, and reinvent themselves in family, community, lifestyle, and business. And of course, always committed to keeping it real. Now let's dive in. Hey guys, are you ready for this episode today? Because I am going to be giving you 7 tips on how to become a super attractor. What does that mean? You know that I am completely into vision boards. I have a vision board workshop that's coming up in January 2020. It will be our second annual vision board workshop. Last year was a complete success, sold out, adding 15 more seats, and we are going to expand it by another hour so we can really attract and manifest every single thing that we want in our lives. So you may be sitting there thinking, how in the world can I just attract good things to come to me? Well, I'm going to tell you, Proverbs 23:7 even says in the Bible, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." So why are you confused when negativity surrounds you and that's all that you think about? I am going to give you 7 actionable tips on how to attract what you want from life into your life. So grab a pen and paper, get a cozy spot on the sofa, grab you some hot tea, or in my case lately, celery juice, and we're going to dive in. Tip number 1 to becoming a super attractor: let things flow. So what do I mean by that? Sometimes we are actually the ones that are blocking our own success. When we are approaching things with feelings of stress, or when we try hard to push or control an outcome, the type of energy is the biggest block to attracting what we want. When you have that type of energy, you're actually blocking your blessings. So let things flow naturally and focus on aligning your energy with positive thoughts that will guide you in the right direction. So that's tip number 1, let things flow. Tip number 2, there is enough to go around. So if you are in business, and maybe you have a brick and mortar, maybe you are an entrepreneur, maybe you're online, multi-level marketing, or maybe you just started your own LLC. Whatever you're involved in, as business owners and entrepreneurs, so many of us start our projects with a bunch of excitement. We're on top of the world and we're just ready to start thriving. But we also tend to often let ourselves backpedal into a mindset of, who am I to do this? Who am I to start this business? Who am I to start this Facebook group? Who am I to start this podcast show? Whatever it is, we revert back to that negative mindset of, who am I? Why am I special? It's already been done, or I'm not even worthy of this. Who's actually going to listen to me? Who actually cares to read my book? Why would I even write it? Remember that you are fully in control of releasing that lack of mentality. Clear that belief system, because in business, there's enough to go around. So shift that energy away from competing and comparing, which is another major block to your super attractor power. Okay? Tip number 3, choose again. So when you're feeling stuck and you want to get moving again, because maybe you backpedaled into that negative mentality, remember to use the choose again 3-step method. And I'm going to give that to you right now. So tip number 3 has 3 parts. Number 1, witness the fear-based thought that's blocking you and understand how it makes you feel. Secondly, forgive yourself for not having the thought and forgive the thought altogether. Number 3, choose a thought that holds a better feeling than the one you had and reach for the thoughts that feel good. So when you're feeling stuck, we're going to revert back to the choose again 3-step method, which is tip number 3. Now, tip number 4. What don't you want? If you feel unclear about what it is that you actually want to attract in your life, think about what you don't want and then just reverse it. And let that thought process guide you. So I'm going to give you an example. If you don't want stress, then you want peace. If you don't want to be alone, then you need connection. So in order to think about what you want, think about the things that you don't want and reverse those. In that case, your focus will be to align your energies with your feelings of peace and connection. If you're not wanting stress and you're not wanting to be alone. And this can be used in any category of the things that you want. Tip number 5 to becoming an attractor of the things that you want in life is focus on feeling good. Manifesting is not just about having a total control of everything. It's not even always getting what you want or what you think you want. So don't judge yourself on your ability to manifest exactly what you dream up. I hope you're following me. Something that we want that does not make its way into our life is often there just to reveal to us that there is something better on the way. Remember the episode that I did on people's rejection is God's protection? If you didn't hear that episode, go back to that episode because that ties into our tip number 5 on focusing on feeling good. So remember the things that we think that we want in our life, just because we don't have them or they're not revealed to us, there's something better on the way. And you have to think that. You have to believe that. You have to have the faith in that. Or that perhaps it's still just a part of us that's not yet fully aligned with what we desire. Maybe it's coming to you, but the timing is not just perfect. Maybe the timing is not just right. So everything has to be in perfect alignment and perfect timing. The reality is that the more aligned you get and the more you focus on practices that make you feel good, the more effortlessly you will be able to manifest, because that's just how the universe works. If you are in a good vibration and feeling abundant and aligned and you're feeling joyful and free, then you're going to attract the desires that you want more quickly. Remember, we're praying for these things. God has put this in our heart. If you have a desire and a dream in your heart, you're simply, when I use the word manifest or prophesy, that just means that we're believing, we're having faith, we're calling those things into action for ourselves. Because God has already put the desire and the dream and the passion in your heart. So now we're just attracting it by believing that it can come to us. Tip number 6, have a daily practice. I have preached this over and over again on how we should set up our morning routines to be joyful and positive to sustain us throughout the day. And this is no different. So tip number 6, have a daily practice. Sometimes we feel like we're on fire, right? Everything is just going our way. Everything's flowing perfectly. And then other times we don't seem to think that basically nothing is flowing. It seems like it's just one thing after another that breaks down and breaks down. Rather than constantly trying to get back to that up and down, make your desire to create a sustainable energy that is going to support you. In other words, don't be on fire and don't feel like nothing's not flowing. Be constant and sustain in the middle. That sustainability is going to come through daily practice that works for you. In other words, you are going to incorporate meditation or prayer, or maybe this is when you listen to your motivational podcast or you listen to your motivational, inspirational audiobooks on the way to work. It's basically intention setting. Or you can also use the choose again method that we talked about in tip number 3, and you're going to do this all throughout the day. Make sure that you have daily practices that will sustain you throughout your life. And so you're able to keep momentums going no matter what is happening around you. In other words, we're not going to change according to our circumstances. We're going to keep our momentums flowing towards our passions and towards our purpose. When we make the biggest commitment in our life to feeling good, to being at ease and using whatever tools works for us regularly, there is a sustainability that begins to happen. And this in turn is when the biggest changes start to take place in our life. Now, the last tip number 7, in becoming a super attractor of what we want and what we need in our life, is don't struggle alone. We all go through mental struggles and times when things get to just be too much for us to handle on our own. And I'm probably talking to a lot of people right now. When you feel like that, remember that there is help and guidance all around you. You don't have to struggle alone. Don't be scared to simply reach out and ask for help if you need it. This can be for a lot of things. I'm always talking about the biggest investment that you can make in your life is in yourself. So tip number 7 could be not struggling alone. If you're having a breakdown in your relationship, seek marriage counseling. Seek help if that's what you actually want. If you don't know how to start a business, or maybe you're in a business and you're struggling, invest in yourself. You need a business coach. If you're having problems with getting on video, or you're trying to start a business online, and if you're online, you're going to have to go live on social media, or you're going to have to film yourself on video, then get a coach that can help you with media training and video training. Whatever it is, if you need help with your children and you feel overwhelmed in life with what you're doing and you're juggling kids all over the place and trying to work full time, get help with your children. Maybe find someone to help you around the house once every couple of weeks. Somebody can come in and do a deep cleaning. Remember, it's going to take a little bit of money, but the biggest investment that you can make is in yourself. Because when things are aligned and you're feeling good about yourself and what you're doing, then that is contagious with the people that all are around you and that you surround yourself with. I always tell my husband, happy wife, happy life. And you guys know that that's real, right? So I hope that this helps you. Remember, if you're trying to attract something in your life, something or someone, you can become a master super attractor just with these 7 steps on things that you can change in your life to become a better you. A better you makes for a better coworker, a better wife, a better sister, a better mother. I hope this helps you. And if it did, guys, jump back on Apple Podcast and just give me a 5-star rating, which would be really nice. And also, I really, more importantly, would like to get a review from you and let me know how Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio is helping you. And if there's a particular episode that really helped you, go ahead and mention that in the review, which episode helped you and how it helped you. I really do appreciate that. And I know if it's an episode where I had a fascinating guest, which all my guests are great, then I know that they would love to hear that as well. Go back and listen to that episode, tag them on social media and let them know how much they helped you, because it is so, so appreciative. And again, the Create Your Life a Vision Board workshop is going to be January 2020. The exact date is coming out shortly. If you are not on my mailing list, go to sherryricard.com. You can see it right here in the show notes. Join the mailing list so you don't miss anything. And until next week, keep your encouragement tank full. Keep your faith in God. Step out of your comfort zone and try something that you've never tried before. Have a blessed, blessed week.